Hello, everyone. Welcome to our knowledge sharing series as we get to learn from experts in the fields of agriculture, environmental conservation, and youth empowerment. This is a series that are aimed to ensure that knowledge sharing and access to information in the above sectors is seamless
Yes,
despite our country being under lockdown and with limited movement of people and resources. Tonight, we're hosting a professional lady with passion for agriculture. She's a goat farmer and she goes by the names of Neema Nagadya. Neema, you're so much welcome. I invite you
Thank
to
you.
introduce yourself and tell us more about what you do. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nagadya Neema with a bachelor's degree in sciences of agriculture, Makerere University, and I'm a youth and a passionate goat farmer. I do goat farming from Nakaseke district, Kapeka, and I started this with a number of other 9 youth, both males, and I was the only lady in the group. How did we start this goat farming business? We we made up a club of 10, and we were able to be given land by one of the big official here in Uganda. After we presented our passion for goat farming to him, when he gave us land, we had the group registered and we raised funds to start up the farming business. Though currently I'm running the farm single-handedly because my friends along the way lost the interest. So how have I been able to move on with this? Because of the passion and the focus that I had to stick around. I got other partners that were given to me by that same person who gave us land after he saw that the other youth had lost interest. And these partners, we started the goat farming with 70 goats. And this included 1 male and 69 females. We were able to fence the land. The land is 23 acres, and we fenced off 20 acres with a chain link. After fencing off the land, that's when we put the goats. But before, with the funds that we had raised with the youth, we had already set up a structure of 200 goats. So that was a starting point. We moved on. By the end of 1 year, we brought in the goats late 2016. By the end of 1 year, we were able to have 140 goats that multiplied to that. It's known that the business doesn't come with challenges, it comes with challenges. We later found out that the goats had started dying that is due to seasonal changes. That was in the second year of the business. So we were advised by one of the experts that I was later given to do the assessment or the progress of the business and all that. And from the assessment that she gave us, that was now in 2019, he advised that we first lay off all the stock and do some improvements on the farm. And some of the challenges that were discovered in the process, these were the pasture. The pasture was not improved. It was poor pasture because we have the native weeds. Those weeds were not favorable for the goats. The other is the point where I was in the real rainy season. I think like that you can observe today, the season, due to seasonal changes, the rain these days is too much and we have short dry seasons. And Nakaseke being a cattle corridor, initially it was a dry area, but today we receive just a lot of rains, and the drainage at my point was so poor. So I was advised to dig trenches to allow this water flow freely, to avoid it from logging in the farm. Then I was advised to grow pastures. Today I'm growing, I had paddock of 10 acres and dedicated them to pasture production. And then the other 10 acres are on free range for the goats to do free range. I was advised to grow pastures. Then the other is to have a professional vet doctor to manage the medical part. Generally, that was the advice, and we had to sell off all the stock because at the moment when we had to sell it off, we were not able to handle the deaths. And maybe the other is, according to the person who was managing them then, told me that it was because the neighbors were spraying, because my neighbors were doing crop farming and they were using weed control chemicals. So mostly this person told me that the goats that used to escape to eat from the neighbors' gardens are those that used to die so often because of the weed control herbicides that were being used to control the weeds. When the goats took them in, they had to die and then inhaling. So there were so many things attached to the deaths of the goats that after laying off the goats, and then maybe the other is I have palm trees in the farm. The other is I was advised to clear the farm, which I try to do. Even today I'm trying to do it. So after laying off the goats and all that in 2020, I had to start. It was like sort of starting again with a few improvements to restock. And 2020 has not been an easy year till today, though I'm still carrying on. Restocking, I started with 19 goats with a male and 18 females. Some were in the reproductive age, some were still young. So those are the goats that I started with. And today I'm at a stock of 40. And I hope by the end of the year, I will have increased a bit. So that's where I am today. It's known that it's an easy road. It's not straight. I still have some challenges, but I'm coping up from what I learned from the previous store. Is I've not had the such death as like I used to have before, and I've already set up some pastures which I'm still planting. Also, I have others that are grown and I'm still expanding. The other is I have a vet doctor based at the farm, and he's able to manage the animal health. And besides that, we are also trying to do some poultry farming, which we are also trying to expand. But majorly, my focus in this, I'm focusing on goats. This is just an additional, given that we have a fenced farm, so poultry on a free range system can do also. Um, then the trenches, I tried to put a few trenches, and I'm still planning to put more. And it's best in this dry season to start setting them up before the wet season clocks in. Then the other is the structure currently is enough. I'm trying to maintain it, though I'm planning to put up another structure as the stock expands. Clearing the farm continuously, I do that, though I'm trying to find a permanent way of getting rid of the palm trees. Um, those are some of the things that currently I've been able to touch on.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful, Neema. Thank you so much. You just said you started as a group of youth, you being the lone woman. The others were gentlemen.
Yeah.
And in the course of the business running, they quit.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so how you, the lady, was able to hold the business and keep it running?
Oh, well, what I learned is my friends thought it would be, in me, they lost focus. And the other thing I can say is they wanted something quick.
Oh, so they looked at quick
Yeah,
profits, quick returns,
yes,
something that
yes.
is actually very rare in agriculture. You have to be
Because
patient.
after, yes,
Mm,
after being given the land, maybe they thought would be given some money and all that anyway. So they were not able to hold on when all their expectations did come to pass. So one by one left,
okay.
and I had to stand and hold on because I knew that there is potential in this, and I still believe there is potential in this because now the far I've come, I can really see, and me working with people with the same focus, I always share my goals with the people I work with.
Okay.
Like the farm manager, the farm, I let him know where I've come from and where I want to go. So
Okay.
he works in that line.
Okay. All right. Now, when I was growing,
Okay.
there were some things that were actually left for boys to handle, and
Yes, yes.
animal rearing was one of them. It was rare to see a lady going into the farm and doing the rearing of animals. What really pushed you, or what motivated you to go into goat farming? Something that many people would think this is an only men sector or section of agriculture. What motivated you?
Oh, first, to get, I don't know, number is power. The idea of goat farming was brought up by a friend who was also part of the group.
Okay.
And I said, well, I want to be part of that. And always when I touch something and start it, I know where it's coming from and where I'm heading to. I don't want to release before I get there. So when I got onto this group, I thought we were on the same base, so I held on.
Okay.
So getting there, my friends started dropping out, but I had seen the potential of this. I said, hey, animal production, okay. And given at home, we had kept some animals. That was like some few goats and cows, but on a zero grazing method. And now here we come. Because I knew at home we're doing it on a small scale. Now here, in my head, I was viewing something done on a big scale, and then hey, we would harvest money from this selling animals. That's how I was able to hold on. And then as my friends kept on dropping out, and there's a big asset that we had that they were not seeing. That is land.
Mm,
We had land.
true.
How many people have land and how many are looking for it?
Okay.
We were given free of charge.
True.
So I had to hold on, like, and the other thing that kept me going is this person was seeing potential in me, being the only lady in the group and all that. I was made almost the head.
Mm, true.
So if the head loses focus, then everything drops.
Yeah, true.
Yes, so I was almost seen as the head of the group, and how could I just drop out? So
Indeed.
I had to keep the group, yes,
Mm,
had to keep the group going and hold on. And he knew the project was progressing this side, so I had to keep going.
very good. Very good. You see, I
And
like.
at the point I mentioned, we partnered with these people. So after we resolved the partnership, and the other group had to leave, and I had to stand alone. Today, I'm sorry, running the whole project.
Okay. That's a good one. I see. So you drove. You got your inspiration right first from home, and then you combined the 3 Ps for a successful farmer. You combined the persistence. Though your team members were falling out, you said no. I will
Yeah.
persist and I go on with this. Then you brought in the passion. You really had the love, having seen it from home. Yeah, your parents were doing it, and you're like, no, I also can do it. That is very good. And then you had the patience because these your colleagues were running out of it because they were not seeing returns coming so fast as they expected. That is so beautiful and so good of you. Uh, now,
Mhm.
uh, what basically apart from the hope of quick returns, what else could have made
Oh,
your team, your other team members to fall out of the business that you people had started as a group, apart from the, the 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 failure to get quick returns, which they initially thought would come so fast?
oh, the other is this this group when they brought in, initially when we were raising a few funds, that's we put up a goat structure. So we we thought we would get more funding from this person to do the other things like stalking, fencing the land. We wouldn't run the project without fencing. Then, yeah. and then other facilities on the farm. But then this money didn't come as they thought. So they saw no future in the project, so they dropped out. And the other thing is, that was one of the major. The other thing is, some other people got in, I think, without the whole knowledge of the business.
Mm.
They didn't know what it required, how much they had to wait before getting returns and all that.
Okay.
So they had to drop out. Other people, so because my other friends traveled, so they traveled and left, but that was after they had chosen to drop out because they
Mm.
didn't even make follow up.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't even make follow up. Then the other that I learned, when that's a few that had tried to stick around, when we got into partnership with this, because the other person recommended we get into partnership with this,
Mhm.
the other group. So when the other group came on board, when the other group came on board, uh, these ones saw no future. They saw a total loss in the whole project. So that's when most of them decided to quit.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, your story is quite an interesting one. I still can't believe that you are a lone lady and you're running a business that is looked at as a man's business. It's really strong and
No, today ladies are doing things.
it really tells something about your passion for this, for whatever you're doing. Now, you said you hold a bachelor's degree, Bachelor of Science.
Okay.
Yeah, what specific uh, uh, course is that?
It says Bachelor's of Science in Agriculture. It's
Oh,
agriculture in general, but
okay.
at maybe your fourth year, you can specialize.
Mm,
So I specialized in economics. I think
okay.
I love business a lot, so
Okay.
I chose to do the economics.
Okay. You see, agriculture at times is looked at as a sector for those who have failed in life, those who have not gone to school, those who are less educated, and now people believe that the people in agriculture, those who have failed to find something to do with employment. You, with your bachelor's degree, of Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, how are you doing it, and how how are you doing it different? Because now someone would say, with all those books, why would she be into goat farming and agriculture?
Oh, well, so when after we got into that project, it needs sustainability, like sustaining it. Like today, I'm doing it. I'm trying here and there to see
Mm,
that it stands.
mm,
So I like any other youth, I tried looking for jobs which didn't yield anything, and I think my first and maybe last, I can say that my first was in Karamoja. I worked in Karamoja under an organization for 8 months. Um, yes, the project was still running, but then it was still under partnership when we were still in partnership. So I had my friends the other side as I also went on my other errands in Karamoja. And that was after the contract expired. That's when I came back, and that when 2020 came. And I've not, in my mind, I don't look at getting employed anymore. And
okay.
I've not put up out any applications as yet, like because I see potential in this. I have other group farmers that I follow who are doing the same business and who have been able to reap much from that. So I get the inspiration from them. And what one of them said is he's a doctor, Dr. Hamis. He says if you're still employed, look at where you're going to put the money. Try to squeeze something and put up something on the ground. After employment, then what? And then that was my case. After employment, what? I had to look up at my farm. And that's where, yes. So it's not, agriculture is not for failed people. It's not that I went into it after failing to get a job. No, because I'll do other things besides going into goat farming. Yes, it comes with challenges, and the challenges, yes, are there. And running it single-handedly is not a job because you have to sustain it. But it pays off.
Okay, that is beautiful.
Once the farm picks up, in the beginning stage, it's a struggle. Yes, it's a struggle. Once it picks up and the number of goats start increasing, everything starts moving on swiftly and bits of.
Okay, we really so impressed by that, and I hope our fellow youth can learn something out of this. Agriculture is not only for the failures. So even if you've done your bachelor's or master's, you can still go on. This is a sector that welcomes everyone, employed, unemployed, professionals, non-professionals. So it's a sector that combines everyone. And just like you said, Neema, that it pays off. Indeed, it does. So you talked about you talked about some challenges that you've been experiencing on your side. Pastures, and then having neighbors who are applying weed control on the pastures that you have, and then you have challenges to do with the rain. So now on the issue of your animals escaping to the neighboring pastures, how are you controlling this? How are you ensuring that they are in one place that is gazetted?
Oh, the fence. They used to go through the roots of the fence. Like you find where the net is a bit loose. Because I have a chain link around the whole farm, so I continuously keep on maintaining the chain link, the fence. I keep maintaining. I keep looking up for loopholes. I keep looking at, because even when the goats escape and go to the neighbor's garden, currently I'm lucky they are no longer escaping, and my neighbors are no longer doing crop farming. But when they escape and eat the neighbor's food, you have to pay for the damages. So continuously, I maintain the fence. I tried growing the live fence seedlings, but I was unlucky. The squirrel came and ate up all the seeds from the soil. So that was also a big challenge because it ate up a good amount of money that I had invested in the seeds because I got these seeds from Karamoja.
Okay.
And so I lost all the thorns that I had bought to plant around the whole fence.
All right. You said in 2020 you had 19 goats, right?
Yes, 2020, yeah.
Yes. Right now we are in 2021 and they have multiplied to 40 goats. How do you do this? And then you said you have only one male, but okay, by 2020 you had one male and 18 female. So how are they
Some
multiplying?
were producing, yes, yes.
Mm,
So, so, like in 2020, I had a few still challenges, some financial constraint, like I sold off close to five, 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 six goats. But those that I left on the farm gave birth, and then I introduced a program in 2021.
mm,
In 2021, I introduced a program whereby I can go into joint farming with other interested youth farmers.
mm,
Like my target was those youth that are town-based and they need land and are interested in animal production.
mm,
Then the urban-based who are introduced in animal production, but yet they don't have land and they can raise some money to buy goats. So in that process, I got one farmer who currently put in 8 goats.
okay.
So in addition to what I had,
Mm,
this farmer added 8.
good.
So currently I have one farmer who subscribed to the program
Mm-hmm.
because I was calling for a minimum of maybe 5 farmers. Though I now view it like if I can only have 2, because before this lockdown, there was another farmer who was interested in the program and they wanted to subscribe. So I'm still waiting on for that farmer also to add, because I'm looking at this stock multiplying faster.
Okay.
As like I said, as stock increases, constraints a bit reduce,
Mm.
because now you have other support,
So there's cost
like
sharing here.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
As
true.
because every farmer subscribes with a membership fee that helps
Okay.
me to get drugs and the drugs medication for the goats.
Mm.
If I buy in bulk, yeah, a medication of 300,000 is just enough to support me throughout the whole year.
Oh, good. Okay.
And
Uh,
with the increased number of goats, the stock increases fast. And that's a setup. If I have 50 mothers, like 50 mothers or producing goats, I'm already set up. I can now move on smoothly, because that is enough to get me all the stock that I want to accumulate to the whole farm.
true.
If I have 50 mothers, in 2 years I'm covered.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Looking at the breeds, what breeds do you have at your farm? Is it a single breed or you have a variety of breeds? And then two,
Currently,
are they local or you buy them from outside?
okay. If you're looking at stocking, currently, let me start with a breed that I have a variety currently, though I'm now improving, because what I look at is like if you're to buy the goat from my farm, we look at the kids that have been produced from my farm. That is my breed. That I term it as my breed. So when in the initial stage when I was talking, I looked at the mixed breed, like about 50-45%
Okay.
like genetic makeup.
Okay.
I don't know if you get to that.
Yes, I do.
50 or 40, 45 genetic makeup. That's
Mm,
what I had. So because it was like it's like when you're starting chicken farming or something, you need to start with local and try them. It's now you're in testing.
mm,
But currently, we are now improving because we now got rid of the locals that I started with. In the process, I either sold the other ones or I exchanged
Okay.
with improved breeds. Yes,
Mm,
now
mm,
the genetic makeup level is now a bit higher than what I had before, though I still have a few, but I'm getting rid of them with time. And what also determines the genetic makeup or composition of your stock is the male. You
okay.
want to have a good male.
Mm,
So I have a mixture of the boa and the savannah. Not the genetic makeup is not very very high, but
mm,
I'm now trying to increase the genetic composition of my farm
okay.
with a male.
All right. That's good. So then on the part of feeds here, you talked of you have planted some of your feeds. Do you mix them up with imported feeds? The modernized animal feeds.
Apart from giving them mineralic, which is the salt, I haven't done the modernized feeds apart from maybe the grown ones. If there is any imported pastures that can be grown by farmers, those
Mm,
ones I try out, but I haven't. And currently, because the stock is still uh, lower than what the farm can hold,
mm,
the animals feed really very well and
okay.
they look nice.
Okay.
So I have pastures that I've established and I'm expanding them,
Oh,
but I'm not using any improved feeds from outside. The
oh,
goats are
okay.
able to graze because goats are grazers. They
Mm,
go and graze.
mm,
Maybe in the rainy season, goats don't like water generally. Goats.
mm,
So in the rainy season when they can't go to graze, and that's a very intensive time because that's when goats fall sick because they can't eat, and when you can't eat, your immunity is down. Not that they can't eat, but
mm,
water, they don't. When it starts raining, sometimes it may mean rain the whole day or 3/4 of that day. So
mm.
you find that goats have not gone out to graze. So there you have to go cut the fodder and feed them from home.
Okay.
That's why we had to grow the pastures.
Okay. So how do you ensure that your goats are strong and healthy at all time? Do you do medication regularly? How often and do you do that?
Oh, okay. First, there are regular things that you're supposed to do, and one of them is what is not supposed to miss. Spraying, I spray on a weekly basis. Also, goats are sprayed. I've seen farmers who say goats are not supposed to be attended to like that. You find a farmer who has never sprayed a goat for the
Mm,
whole of the time they have had it.
mm,
So I spray on a weekly basis. That's a must to control ticks because ticks cause fever. And
mm,
when you know, by the time you realize that the animal is sick, it's not only one, almost the whole stock will be sick.
okay.
So on a daily basis, almost every day, I have to walk, or the manager has to walk in the corral when they are back from grazing,
Mm,
or when they come home because they have sessions. They go early in the morning, like at around 9 or 10. That's when the dew is off the grass because you don't want to let them go and eat when the dew is on the grass. They'll get mouth rot.
okay.
So you wait when the dew is off the grass, they go and graze, and around 1, they always come back home. That is to drink water. I have a water dam on the farm. So sometimes they go drink from the farm or come back, and that's when the breastfeeding mothers come and attend to the kids.
Mm.
They know the routine, they come back. Then the other thing is deworming. Deworming has to be done on a monthly basis. So you need to have dewormers stocked up and then spray spray. And then there are those essential drugs that you're supposed to have on the farm. Like there are common diseases that normally pop up on the farm, like the eye infections. And this is it shows the eyes, when the eyes start getting sick, you know it's not one goat. When you see one goat, then there are others too. You need to be observant of that. And they show a given sickness when they start. So you may want to treat the whole stock to get rid of it at once. Once they start showing, get you treat the whole stock, because
Okay.
that shows a given disease that is cropping up in the stock.
Mm.
So the basics is I do deworming, and then I spray on a weekly basis, deworming on a monthly basis and spray on a weekly basis. You don't want liver flukes to crop up, and you don't want a tick, bestie, fever and all that to come up
Mm.
in the stock,
Mm.
because when they start dying, it's a big loss to the
Okay.
farmer.
True.
And then maybe on a daily basis, you have to always go through the stock and see. This is when you're able to identify which animal has not been able to return.
Mm.
Sometimes you find that there are those mothers that are about to give birth, and when they give birth in the bushes, they normally don't come back home because they stay there to keep the kids. So you have to know where your goats grazed from that
Mm.
day. The
Mm.
farm being big, you need to know which direction, just in case the goats don't come. If they all don't show up,
Mm.
you know which direction to take to go and look for the other that has not come back. So sometimes you may find that it's a kid that has not come back. Maybe it has been trapped in one of the bushes.
Mm.
So you have to go and free it up, or you find maybe a mother gave birth. You have to
Mm.
go help it carry the kids and bring it home.
Okay.
Then the other that I ensure that the goats are healthy and nice looking is salt. Like we humans need salt, also the
Mm.
animals need salt. So
Oh.
at least a mineral link should be there. Or if you can't buy the mineral link, then you need to buy them this our common salt and put
Okay.
for them in water.
Okay.
That improves their vigor, and they look nice and
Mm.
healthy.
Okay. That is so nice. So, do you immunize?
Or immunization.
Mm.
Currently, I haven't done immunization, though it's recommended for some diseases,
Mm.
but it hasn't been common.
Okay.
On Yeah, a few farmers are aware of immunization in goats,
In
but it has
gods.
to be.
Mm.
There are some common diseases that are supposed to be immunized,
Mm.
which I also learned later. I
Okay.
didn't know that goats were supposed to be immunized. I just learned about it later, though I haven't immunized me
Mm.
myself. And maybe the other practice that I do is a castration. If any male has been given birth to, and I don't need it to continue in the stock, so you
Mm.
castrate and
Mm.
to avoid it from mounting.
Okay. Alright. So, when you're spraying the animals themselves, the
Okay.
chemicals you use, aren't they dangerous to the goats?
Now these are caricides that are specified for animal dipping,
Okay.
spraying, and treatment. Yeah, so they are specific medication for animals.
So that means even if it is swallowed by the goat, by the animal, it has no effect.
If you no, not like swallowing, because like us humans, they specify
Mm.
internal or
The external
external.
use. Mm.
Yes. So these ones are specified for spraying. You don't have to drench, or
Mm.
you don't have to drench the animal. So
Oh,
you mix in the right amounts and then keep away the containers from being accessed by the animals,
okay.
because you don't know what will happen if they
Okay.
eat the drug.
I get you. So I need you to leave us with two messages. One is for the ladies out there who think they can't do some things, but when they actually can do. And then the second message should be for the youth who think, who don't want to get into agriculture because they think it is a dirty kind of sector, that they who have their bachelors and masters and whatever it is do not want to take part, to partake in. So one message for the ladies.
Okay, a message for the ladies. What I would say is, we have potential. It's possible. We can do it. If a man can do it, then a woman can do it. We are all humans, and we have the potential.
Mm.
Don't you think you're going to carry that? You just need the knowledge, and then stipulate the steps very well. The steps you're going to take, and identify the assistance that you will need as a lady. I know you may not be able to do some things, but you may be having the knowledge. So you go out, identify what you want to do. Don't mind it's done by men or what.
Mm.
Today, ladies are building.
True.
It's not common, but it's cropping up. Ladies are
Mm.
building, and I know
Mm.
lady engineers that
Mm.
get to mix the concrete and go build, lay
Mm.
up the bricks on the house. So stipulate what you want first. Know what you want. Are you passionate in it? Then lay out the steps. Know where you will need the assistance, like someone to chip in for you.
Mm.
So you will see your thing coming up, and then stay focused, so that you don't lose track, and
Okay,
you don't get off
good.
your goal. And then for the youth, right away I was always interested in the youth, because I know we still have the energy, we still have all the plans, we still have the zeal for the youth. Like I've said to the ladies now included, identify something that you think you have potential into, or you have passion in, and put your hands on it.
Mm.
Study much about it, have the information about it. Look for the resources that you have, or what the resources that you can find, and
Mm.
start small. I didn't start big,
True.
and I don't say I'm already there, but I know where I'm heading, because now I can see the difference. I'm not like
Mm.
the way it was in 2019, the way it was in 2020, 2021. I now see a huge difference from the way it was in 2020.
Mm.
So yes, find the goal, lay out all that you need, look up for the resources that you have, and then the resources that you may need from somewhere,
Mm.
and have the plan, because know that when you start up something, you're the leader. You have to keep your mind focused.
Okay.
And what I've always done that has helped me is the people I work with, I make them my friends.
Okay.
Like it doesn't matter you're an employee, I'm paying, I sit, I lay up the strategies with you, we plan together,
Mm.
and I make you included in the whole thing. You get,
Mm.
so that you feel this person will develop the love for the thing. And the other thing is, give them also the opportunity to do what they want. What I mean in this is, if you have an employee that you're working with, give them also something to do there. I'll give an example. I have my manager, but I let him do his other projects on the farm.
Mm.
Yes, these ones also help him to sustain himself, and then also he chips in where I can't. He helps where I can't. So this means as you move up, support other people below you, because you will need them
Okay.
as you try to come down. You will need them. So support them, develop them, support them. As you go up and the ladder is off, they'll support you.
Indeed.
Yes. So as you move, support. That's the principle I've always had as I work with. They are my friends. I talk to them freely. I don't bossy around. So
Mm.
for the youth, it doesn't matter who you choose to work with. Share with them your goals.
Mm.
If you see that they're on the same track with you, move on with them. And the most important thing is support them. Support
Yeah.
them. Don't be selfish. Don't say like this is my thing alone. Don't do
Mm.
this. No,
Mm.
let them also do something that can put money in their pocket,
Okay.
as they'll be part of this that you're trying to develop.
Okay.
So that's how I've been able to run the farm, because in me, I feel I should support other people too, because I need them to support me too.
True.
Yeah, it's like an example of a tree. A tree stands when the tree is starting up, it makes branches, makes more branches, makes leaves. These leaves are the workers that you work with, the managers and all that,
Mm.
the the goatkeepers. In times of storm, like wind and all that, it's
Mm.
those branches that the tree formed, the leaves and all that, that are going to hold the storm so
True.
that the stem will stand.
Mm.
So it's the same thing here. The youth start something that you're passionate, have knowledge about, and continuously search. And then the other thing that I do is I look out for supporting organizations, supporting people like in the same business for
Mm.
knowledge, and then supporting organization for links, and then try to connect with people who are more than you, because they'll recommend you either someone, or they will support you in any way. Like, don't get into the circle of people that are not in the same bracket or in the same line with what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
so that's
please.
what I can say.
That is so good, Nima. We really appreciate you offering to give us something to share with us. Your passion, that is goat farming. Truly, I'm seeing you have succeeded where many men have failed. Sorry to say that, but you being a lady, starting up a business with men, and then men fall out, for you still continue with the business, and the business flourishes and it's growing. The future is so bright for you.
Thank you.
I really see it ahead. So we really thank you for accepting to give us your time, and we wish you all the best in your business.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thank you.
evening.
Okay, have a great evening too.
Right.